Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This pick a card reading is going to take a look at now what? What now? What's next? And I know we've all been in that scenario or situation where, things are kind of uncertain and we've all questioned and wonder, okay, now what? What now? So we are going to take a look in this reading at the current situation to kind of give us a diagnostic of, maybe what's going on in the moment. And then we'll also take a look at the next 3 months forecast, I guess you could call it, to find out what's going to be unfolding for you, right? What now? What next? Now what? So if you have not, as of yet, chosen a card stack on the table, by all means, go ahead and do that now. There are timestamps down below where you can go directly to the portion of the video that's going to give you an up-close and personal look at the cards that you see in front of you. Pause where necessary on the screen if you feel you have to in order to extend your time. I don't want you to feel rushed. That's why I place that meditative portion of the video there for you so you can take all the time you need in order to choose. If during your selection process you feel led to pick more than one card stack on the table to get further answers, by all means, please trust yourself and your intuition during your selection process, and pick more than one card stack if that's what you feel you need. So these readings are also timeless. So whether you watch it at the upload time or sometime later down the road, whenever it's placed into your awareness and you feel that intuitive nudge to watch, by all means, click on this video, right? I hope you did or have. There may be a message here for you, right? I always trust that the universe is going to guide you to the messages that you need when you need them. So again, if it's placed into your awareness and you felt the nudge to watch, there may be a message here for you. So with all of that being said, Star Family, I will go ahead and leave you here, and I will meet you at your reading of choice. Pile number 1, you chose the Wandering Star Tarot for your reading. We are going to be taking a look at now what? What now? What's next? We're going to pull 1 card for the current situation, and then 3 cards for the next 3 months to see how it will all unfold. So let's see. Current situation for pile number 1 viewers, choosing the Wandering Star Tarot. Okay. And then we want to take a look at the next 3 months. And if I need more cards, I will just grab off to the side. So let's see. Current situation. Wow. Okay, so we have the Devil energy. It says desire, obsession, fear, and shadow. So I don't know if some of you at this time are going through a shadow period of some sort. Maybe you're going through a dark night of the soul. Or there's some part of the journey at this time that feels very limited and constricted. That could definitely be because of circumstance, maybe an oppressive work situation. There could be something in your life that feels, I would go so far as even to say, stuck. The reason why that is, some of you could also be Capricorn. The reason why I say stuck is because a lot of times the Devil energy is bound in chains. Okay, so there's some kind of limitation, restriction, that you're struggling to kind of work your way out of and or through. So it feels like there's, fear, shadow, like the card says. There's some aspect of it that can be a little confronting and daunting, to say the least. So, I mean, it could be a physical situation, person, place, or thing that's causing a limitation and or a restriction or circumstance, right? That's causing all that. And it kind of feels like you're pulling, I get this feeling of like pulling, trying to pull yourself out of that, but everything around you feels like tight, feels like you can't break free. Some of you could also be looking for a breakthrough, but maybe are not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So in whatever area of your life that could be. For instance, if you have a difficult work situation, oppressive work situation, there's not a lot of freedom there. You feel like you're grinding and you can't really find your way out of that scenario, you know, it can cause stress and things that, you know, emotions and feelings that can be quite daunting to you. So I don't know what the scenario is. Obviously, you can tell me in the comment section how that might apply. This could also be a workaholic energy. It could also be hyper focused on things. Could be materialism that you're focusing on right now. Maybe there could be financial struggles in your situation. There's a lot of different ways that this can play out. And it gives the impression when this energy shows up that there isn't relief, that there isn't a way out, or that you are stuck. It gives that impression because no matter which way you turn or look or try to act upon the situation to provide some relief, you still feel closed in. And it can oftentimes talk about intrusive thinking in the way that we, I guess, have our perspective toward a situation. Sometimes our intrusive thinking can get in the way of the reality of what is. We think that there's limitation or restrictions in our circumstance, or we can't get out of a sticky situation, but it's sometimes a matter of perspective, changing the mindset to not see a failure, okay, in the situation where you're at right now, but maybe just seeing it more so as a delay, okay? So there could be a delay in your situation as well, all right? And again, a lot of that is just when our perspective is in that place. A lot of it, like the card says, is oftentimes just our fears getting in the way. So let's see what the next 3 months are going to look like, how they will unfold, right? Now what? You're finding yourself in this tight spot, maybe financially, or in your environment, or in your job, or maybe in a relationship that's not working. This can unfold in many different ways. But let's see, and it's going to be different for all of you, but let's see what now, okay? What's coming up? All right, wow, so we have the Emperor. Look at that. That's beautiful. 6 of Pentacles, all about balance and alignment, right? Power and authority. Taking your agency back. You know, that's kind of the energy of this card. It's like taking control back. Maybe now that you're in the process of working through that energy, you'll be taking your power back in some way with the Aries Emperor energy. And then we have the Hangman. Okay, so I might have to grab another card on this. And the only reason why I say that is because, like I said, sometimes with the Devil card, we can feel stuck. We can feel like there isn't a way out. And it creates a feeling of limitation and restriction when all we want to do is break free, right? The thing is that the Hangman can kind of feel like restriction too. But it's the universe's way of telling you that that period of shadow, let's say, or restriction or limitation, it wasn't in vain. With the Hangman, because he is restricted, he is kind of stuck. What it's saying with the Hangman is that there was pretty much some alchemy, spiritual alchemy taking place. And what's funny is I mentioned perspective with the Devil card. And the Hangman is that. Sometimes we got to look at things from a different angle. He's literally upside down. Just like Odin hung himself upside down to gain wisdom, right? From the tree. Where he hung himself from a tree and he gained wisdom. So again, that feeling of stuck in restriction, it wasn't in vain. It was basically a spiritual alchemization or transmutative process that was taking place. So the shadow work that you could be doing now, or that you're finishing up, it's leading you to the spiritual enlightenment of the Hangman. Excuse me. It's going to give you an opportunity with this energy to see the journey hindsight, to see why you experienced those difficult things. As far as the Devil energy, could be adversities, right? It's going to explain to you, show you hindsight, why you experienced those adversities, why you went through all those things, why you worked your way out or through the shadow. Again, let's not forget we have the snake energy on the Devil card, which is a symbol of healing, shedding old facets of self, rebirth. Likewise, the Hangman card does say right? Waiting, rebirth, sacrifice, reflection. So again, you've been looking for a breakthrough. You've been waiting patiently, this energy here. The next 3 months are going to show you something about this situation over here that you weren't able to see before. You're going to gain enlightenment. Hindsight is going to show you what it was all for. The beautiful thing about this is that you're stepping into your power as a result of the adversity that you have recently faced with that devil energy, or that you're currently in the position of facing. Your struggles are not in vain. The Emperor is saying you're taking your agency back. You are stepping into your personal power with divine authority. And no one, once you get out of this situation and transmute through all of that, right, and rebirth yourself, no one's going to be able to take that back from you. You're stepping into your power. I would even say self-mastery. No one's going to be able to take that away from you. Emperors can also be boss energy as well. So maybe for some of you, you will be your own boss. Maybe it'll be in a spiritual way that you'll be, doing some spiritual work. Why? Because you went through all of that in order to gain the spiritual wisdom, so you could be of service, let's say, in regards to a spiritual path, if that's what it is. The Emperor also has the little owl on the card. So that's a good sign of wisdom gained from experience. Like I said, the knowledge and wisdom, right, that you will gain in hindsight, it'll all be shown to you. But the beautiful thing about this is you're coming into alignment with the Six of Pentacles. You are learning equal give and take, reciprocity, right? So if there was a relationship situation, job, anything that wasn't reciprocal, the tables in the next 3 months are turning. So for one, you can learn with the Hangman from that experience and gain wisdom from it, enlightenment from it. But it's also going to show you where to put your energy versus where not to. Six of Pentacles. It's going to also show you with this Six of Pentacles who values you and who doesn't. And you're going to stand more confidently with the Emperor energy in your personal power. So that way you're not with the devil energy possibly taken advantage of moving forward. Because you see things for what they are, for what they aren't now. I think the Hangman energy is showing you that. Also, Hangman can talk about personal magic. Odin's energy in that card, not only did he gain wisdom and spiritual enlightenment, but he also understood his own magic. He learned how to work his own personal magic and to decipher the world and the energy all around him, which could also be a clue as to how you will be empowered with the Emperor card moving forward, to learn how to discern what's good, what's not, who's on your side and who's not. Because he can see things from a different angle. He can interpret the world through a different perspective, right? The Hangman. So there's some kind of discernment you're going to gain in regards to the people in your life. And I'm saying people because of the Six of Pentacles. Maybe your work situations, your job. But you're stepping forward in a position of empowerment that's going to allow you to bring balance and alignment into your life in a positive way. To empower yourself, to place yourself in situations that will not, with the Devil card, tear you down, but if anything, bring alignment and harmony to your life moving forward instead. Because again, now you've gained the wisdom, the knowledge, the spiritual enlightenment that you need to know how to do this now, or to gain positive outcomes for yourself moving forward. This spiritual discernment, the Hangman energy, is going to help you to navigate your world moving forward in a way where this oppressive energy with the devil, this shadow, all this stuff, negative energies or forces won't have power over you ever again. The Hangman card also says rebirth. So that's positive that it's here, right? in that position, because you will be different after this. You won't be the same. You will rebirth yourself in a way that is out of this energy here. You'll free yourself, whether it be figuratively or literally. You'll be freed up from any negative influences or forces or shadows or fears that might have held you back from accessing your personal power, or stepping into it at least. Relationships will be more aligned. Jobs, right? What you do for a living, your money will be more balanced and in alignment. You're going to be not just giving while others take, but this is now putting you also in a position to receive more too, with that Six of Pentacles. So things will balance themselves out. It looks like you will learn from the situation you were most recently or currently placed in, the Devil energy. You're coming up out of that as we speak, in order to step into your power in all areas of your life. Because an emperor knows how to protect himself, his kingdom, the things that he values. He knows his worth. And I feel like with these cards here, once you understand and learn from those experiences, you're not going to tolerate anything less than that. And you're only going to entertain situations, jobs, places, you know, relationships that value you equally as you do them. Because you're too wise and you're too smart now, you see? The hindsight is the gift, is what I always say. Because it shows you why you went through those things to experience what you did to get where you are. It's the biggest gift because it shows how everything lined up the way that it did and why. And we can only understand that in hindsight. Okay. I'm using the, what is it? The Flower Petals Oracle. Yes, look at that. Lavender. I feel like I can't get focus here, but it says take time to cleanse and remove negativity. That's what you're doing with that Devil card. You're getting it out of that. You're getting all that stuff out of the way. It says blushing bride, your intentions and heart deserve to be known. Yeah. So again, if there's in any situation where you feel oppressed, you maybe haven't been able to express yourself or truly live authentically. Again, the Emperor would. He knows himself. He knows his power. He knows his status, his position in life. He's not going to allow anybody to kind of tell him he's not the Emperor, you know. So it's like this is you kind of stepping into your fullness and showing the world who you really are now that this stuff isn't an issue anymore. Standing up for yourself even. Magnolia. It says, you will find what you need in the wisdom of your heritage. Okay, so I was mentioning wisdom with the owl, wisdom gained from experience, even with maybe the hangman. So it could be that this energy is saying there's wisdom coming to you through this experience, but it's also being shown to you through your ancestors. So the ancestors have a hand in this situation with the Devil card. No matter how difficult it may be, the ancestors are going to show you something personally, is what that is saying. Okay, because it says you'll find the wisdom that you need through your heritage, or you'll find what you need in the wisdom of your heritage. So there could be, okay, I just got the vibe that there could be like hints and clues and maybe synchronicities that touch on your ancestors, ancestral spirits. They might be trying to send you messages about this situation. So I want to say, even though things might seem a little tough with the Devil card, hang in there because you're about to step into your power in a very beautifully aligned way. And it's all to level you up. It's all to, with the hangman especially. Yeah, you're about to level up in a big way spiritually. And I kind of feel with the Magnolia card that your ancestors have something to do with this, definitely with this next stage of the journey. Let's see what the goddess and, what is it? Goddesses, Gods and Guardians Oracle. I haven't used this one in a while. Let's see. Forgive me for the fuzziness. I don't know why my camera doesn't want to focus today, but let's see. Final Oracle. So what do we have? Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful card. It says life force energy. Bear with me 1 second. I feel like it has to do with this. There we go. Let me can see that. There we go. All right, let's read directly from the book. And I'm not even going to attempt to say that, the name. I don't know if it's Cain. But let's find it. I wish, oh, okay. Kane. All right. So that's nice that they gave the pronunciation in the book itself. So again, I'm going to adjust the screen so we can both read this. Life force energy. Hydrate and nourish your body. Good health is returning. Kane is a major Hawaiian god of fresh water, or Wai, the creative energy source of all life. A revered ancestor, look at that, who once walked the terrain of Hawaii, or Hawaii, right? Kane cracked open the rocks to bring forth pure water springs from deep inside the land. Hawaiians hold great respect for this god, who provides a physical and spiritual life force energy to sustain them. So definitely ancestral spirits talking here. But it says, it's believed that gods or akua take many forms, such as plants, animals, or nature symbols. These various bodies are called kinolau and give people food, raw materials, medicines, and ceremonial objects. Kane has numerous kinolau, including lau, right? I don't know. I hope I'm saying it right. Including plants, Hawaiian owls. Wait, Hawaiian owls and coral. I have an owl right there. But his most important form are fresh water and sunlight. And we do have beautiful sunlight coming through the window right now. It says rainbows are his sacred sign. So bursting with vitality, Kane comes with a simple message. Your body would benefit from drinking more fresh water and eating nutrient-rich foods. Kane doesn't come to judge you or lecture you about your dietary choices. He invites you to stand beneath his waterfall, soak with his rainbow colors, and tune into your body's real needs. Your spirit needed a reminder about cultivating true health and life force energy, Kane says, smiling widely. Every drop of water or morsel of food contains a living consciousness and vibrational power. Is the way you eat and drink supporting your highest purpose? If your physical or creative energy needs boosting, consider your dietary habits. The way to optimum health now is to open your heart, feed your body with loving awareness rather than criticism or self-loathing. Celebrate your food, savor the colors, tastes, and textures. Give thanks to the creative source of the universe for sustaining you. Life is a joy when you see the sacred energy within everything. Okay, so it kind of feels like there's going to be a boost of vitality that's coming your way, is what this feels like, right? Where there was things that were kind of holding you back, limiting you, or not making you feel like you were flowing in a healthy, happy way, right? This is about bringing healthy energy back to your life. And when we've been bombarded with negativity or things that are unhealthy over here with the devil card, you know, the breakthrough is saying, there's a shift, there's a change that's going to come through to kind of boost your vitality, your sense of well-being and health. Likewise, with that Six of Pentacles, is also demonstrating that to us. Also, your lifestyle, your habits could change, right? Sometimes the devil card can talk about our vices. So it could be that, you know, there's things that are unhealthy for us, whatever they may be. And this card is talking about food, but it could definitely be about our environment, our, you know, our lifestyle, the people around us. You know, we are what we consume, whether that be food or information or whatnot. This is basically saying that there's a release happening here. And it's going to put you on a healthier, more happier, balanced path with the Six of Pentacles, where you're taking control back in your journey, cleaning up what's not working in order to promote healthiness, happiness, and overall well-being. Okay, so I am going to roll the dice for angel numbers. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do roll the dice to get additional messages through the angel numbers. Whatever numbers can show up, you know, they may confirm some things I've already said in this reading or provide you with a message that maybe you need personally. I don't give a source because it could be one you don't like. I never want to imply also that any source is better over another, because there's many on the internet. I say just go with what you feel you trust or resonates with you. Trust that and go with that to interpret it for you. Also take the journey, because you could find other synchronicity, serendipity, spirit needs you to find. If I gave you a shortcut, I might rob you of that entire experience. Don't want that to happen, so I don't give you a number interpretation. So let's see what number shows up for you. 7, 6, and 2. So let's see, 7, 6, and 2. Go ahead and look up that angel number, see what it brings to you. I hope that this reading helped you in some magical way. If it has, please do let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to support this channel. Maybe consider checking me out also on my Etsy shop. I have cool handmade jewelry there, as well as vintage jewelry that I find, fix, refurbish, and whatnot. You could also join my membership for exclusive content and readings that I put out for members only. So all my information is in the description box down below. If you feel so inclined, pay me a visit on my Etsy shop or check out my membership page. Much love to you wherever you are. Be well, be safe, take care, and always keep shining. Hello, pile number 2 viewers. We're going to be looking at now what? What now? What's next within the next 3 months? We're going to look at the current situation to see what things look like at the moment, right? And we are going to take a look at what they will look like within 3 months. So giving you a 3-month forecast. Sometimes when we're in the thick of a situation, we can't really see the forest through the trees, and we want to know, now what, right? What now? What's next? So let's see the current situation. 1 card for the current situation. Pile number 2 viewers, choosing the Anima Mundi Tarot. Okay, current situation. And then let's take a look at the next 3 months. And if I need more cards, I will just basically grab off to the side. All right, so let's take a look at the current situation over here. All right, so we have the 3 of Cups. So I don't know if there's some kind of, I just heard celebration announcement. I wonder if, okay, I don't know if some of you don't know that there's a celebration that's up and coming, or that there's going to be something to celebrate. So this could kind of be spilling the beans in a way with this 3 of Cups energy. There's a reunion or some kind of gathering taking place, a party, a celebration happening for you. This is also indication of things coming together. So when I say things coming together, sometimes it's the energy of universal forces bringing things together. You could also be coordinating something yourself to bring things or something together. Maybe some of you are working towards bringing something together and you don't know how it's going to pan out from where you stand right now in this moment. The thing is that whether you realize that something's coming together or not, it is. And that's positive. This is happy, joyful energy here with the 3 of Cups. So whatever is coming together, you know, right? It's coming together in a very happy way. 3 as a number is one of creation, expansion, and manifestation. So for some of you, I don't know if this is a manifestation that's coming together, and you might right now in your situation might not be fully aware of how it's coming together. The thing is, it is. And it's also, there's this feeling I'm getting of, it's like it's indicating that Spirit is using people, places, and things to coordinate this coming together in order to make it happen. So whether you're doing that or the universe is doing it, people, places, and things are coming together. People are joining forces to align you with this thing, maybe to create it and or manifest it, or you are gathering people maybe to make something happen as well. Do you see? Like, I don't know which perspective it's coming from. Only you will know in your situation whether this is the universe at work on your behalf, bringing people, places, and things together to make this happen for you, or whether you're the one in the situation at the moment coordinating and party planning and or trying to make something happen, requiring the help and assistance of friends, family, or what have you to make it all work. 3 is also a number of community. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I feel like there's a gathering taking place of forces or people or scenarios or situations to align something in order for it to be created and or manifested. That could be literal, figurative, but there's something to celebrate here. And it's going to be a happy occasion, a happy event. You could be meeting up with people, networking also with the 3 of Cups, communing with others in some way, a public maybe situation or environment. But there's things coming together, people coming together to make something happen in a positive way. So a happy celebration at the moment, or there's gonna be something to celebrate up ahead, whether you're aware of it right now in this moment or not. Now, I know that we pulled this card for the current situation. So the current situation is there's going to be something to celebrate, and you might not, in the present moment, be fully aware of what it is you're going to be celebrating soon. But there does feel like a happy occasion that's taking place with this card. And it's going to be good people, a good environment, you know, a happy, joyous event of some sort. Maybe turn of events as well, where all the right people, places, and scenarios come together to orchestrate a happy event, a happy turn of events, possibly. All right, so let's see what the next 3 months are going to look like, right? Because we want to know, well, now what? What now? What's next? Oh, look at that. The Knight of Wands. The Ace of Cups. Okay. And the 3 of Pentacles. So another 3. All right, real quick, because we do have an Ace of Cups on the table. We do have a Knight of Wands. And that 3 of Pentacles could talk about a work situation, but the Ace of Cups can talk about love. I'm getting one scenario where the current situation is you're meeting up with friends, you're going to a party or an event with the 3 of Cups. Maybe this, whenever the weekend comes, right? As of when you watch this video. And your friends might introduce you, right? Because I said networking. Your friends might introduce you to a special someone. That special someone could be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius person with the Knight of Wands. And they could be coming towards you. And you might find romantic interest in them. This could open up the door to new love as a result of your friends introducing you to someone new. And the chemistry could be off the charts. It could also be with the 3 of Pentacles there that you have things in common. Maybe you work in the same field of interest, you see, because it's work card. It could also be that there's a work event and you meet someone new at this work event and you hit it off. Your coworkers could be introducing you to someone new as well. And you can, again, it takes off from there. If it's not love, let's say, I'm just using that as an example, but if it's not love that's coming towards you and your friends are orchestrating it to, make it happen on your behalf. Also, this person's super excited about you by the looks of it with the Knight of Wands, or have high interest in you. And they look like they want to see where this can go and what it can develop into with the Three of Pentacles, to see what you can create together. Okay. So, but if it's not love, what's happening here is that there's a momentous event. There's something that's coming together on your behalf. And it's going to open the door to something with the Ace of Cups on your heart. And it's going to help you, right, after this event gets orchestrated and all this perfect math equation, let's say, comes together to make this happen for you. The next thing you know, you're taking off somewhere. All this is lining up in a beautiful way, in a joyous way. The next thing you know, you're able to move in the direction of something on your heart and work towards a goal that you have held maybe on your heart. Work towards a goal would be the Three of Pentacles with the worker bee energy. Bees also are a symbol of success. They're aligned with the sun. So they're a sun symbol. And they do and are able to eventually get to a point where they're able to taste the fruits of their labor. So again, the universe is bringing things, people, scenarios, and situations together with that Three of Cups to create a momentous, joyous, situation and event that's going to help you to move forward with the Knight of Wands passionately, enthusiastically, confidently in the direction of a goal with the Three of Pentacles, or something on your heart with the Ace of Cups, but the door's being opened to you. So you can move forward in a positive, productive way. There's also divine inspiration coming through with the Knight of Wands, because he takes action in the direction of how he's been inspired, in the direction of the things that motivate him. He's ambitious towards his endeavors and goals. And it's a card of action, speed, movement, and momentum. So you can expect that once this happens, this coming together, this orchestration of events, that you're going to be able to move forward, and it's all going to happen quickly. But the door is open to you to access this thing on your heart, to achieve your goals, and for you to take physical action, inspired action toward them. I heard jump off, like there's a jump off point up ahead for you. You're going to be able to leap like the little rabbit, right? Leap into this wholeheartedly with the Ace of Cups, to get to work in the direction, like to build and create the very thing that you desire with the Knight of Wands on your heart with Ace of Cups. The Three of Pentacles is a building card. It's building towards something. It's working with others, maybe working with a community, or putting in the work yourself, being recognized for the work that you do even. And it does, what do they say? It takes a village sometimes, right? We have the beautiful energy of 33 here. I could also see 313 as an angel number and master number 33. But there's energy of creation, expansion, manifestation taking place. The doors being opened to you so it can flow properly. So you can flow properly also in the direction of it. Work towards the goals to manifest it physically as well. And eventually see it come to life. And it's successful energy as well. So I don't know if this is work related, goal related, love related, but whatever this is, it's in the next 3 months, it's all going to develop really fast. It's all going to, the foundation for it is going to be created passionately, enthusiastically, confidently, happily. And this feeling of you're not going to do it alone. Like you're going to have support around you. If it's love, that person wants to create something with you. They want to build something with you. If it's a goal, you're going to have help, right? If you need, like I said, it takes a village. Sometimes you need help. to build a dream or a vision or take action in the direction of that goal in your heart. But the beautiful thing about this is that everything's coming together to make this work. Because Three of Pentacles is a work card. But it's coming together in a way that's going to be successful, so that way you achieve it. Because you have the skill, you have the know-how, you have the wisdom, you have even the experience, right? To make this successful, to make it work. Open your heart, right? Allow yourself to be inspired in the direction of this thing and to take action where you feel intuitively led. But open your heart to the possibilities of what this can be when all is said and done, or how it could develop. Because we do see progress and development here also with the Three of Pentacles. So there's going to be momentum and progress leading toward a goal or manifestation. Just be open to the possibilities, like, you know, be receptive. Allow your heart to be open to receive the nudge from spirit so you could take action. Be open to the people that also might want to come through to help maybe launch a goal off the ground even. Because these people that are coming your way, there's somebody definitely coming towards you with the Knight of Wands, okay? So these people, places, scenarios that are coming towards you are all to help you achieve a goal, create the life that you want, maybe succeed in a business endeavor or creative project. The people that are coming towards you with that Knight of Wands have their heart open and willing to help you succeed. They want to see you thrive. Or somebody could be honestly and vulnerably opening their heart up to you as well, if it's love. And this is all new territory, sure, with the Ace of Cups, but it's fresh energy and it's you're ready. Knight of Wands also can talk about being ready to act upon something and to go with it in the moment and to trust yourself in the process of flowing in the direction of it. So trust yourself to make the right moves, take the right steps, make the right choices. Keep your heart open and receptive to the possibilities of how this all can come together for you. But the thing is that this reading is saying it is. It is flowing towards you. It is coming towards you. And you're ready for it to as well. I have the Flower Petals Oracle here. Let's see if we can get 3 cards. All right. All right, we have Peony. Look at that. Prosperity can be... Let's see if I can get focused. There we go. Sorry if it jumped. Prosperity can be assured if you care well for tomorrow. Nice. We have Sweet Pea. The comfort of good company heals old hurts. Look at that. Good company. That would be the 3 of Cups. 3 of Pentacles. Let's see what else. Violet. The answers and truths are always within. Like I said, keep your heart open to the way that this could develop or come about. The comfort of good company heals old hurts. So like I said, these people coming towards you, for whatever purpose they may be coming towards you, have the best intentions. And I was feeling that already from this reading. It says, prosperity can be yours if you care well for tomorrow. If you make a good plan. Okay, I'm getting that from the 3 of Pentacles. When you hatch a plan, right? You take action upon the plan or the inspiration. You are preparing for tomorrow. You will succeed. You will be prosperous in your endeavors. If you take the steps that you feel inspired to take, keep your heart open, right? That's why it says the answers and truths are always within. Prosperity can be assured if you care well for tomorrow. Yeah. You set plans in motion, but you have a plan. That's the thing. The thing is that the plan is coming together with the 3 of Cups. I feel that also with the 3 of Pentacles. So I think you will be secure. The foundation of whatever this is will be secure. because you're building it securely, successfully with the Three of Pentacles and that happy, sunshiny, high vibe, B energy. Okay, so I have the Gods, Goddesses, and Guardians Oracle. I haven't used this one in a while, but I'm going to be using this as a final. Let's see. Okay. And I'm going to read directly from the book, and I'm going to try my best to get focus where I can. Look at that, Apollo, divine messages. I love this. All right, let's see what he says. Apollo. Wait, I thought I had it. Ugh, can't see. Where are you? There we go. All right, so I'm going to read directly from the book. Again, I'm trying to get focused. I feel like my lens is smudged or something. I don't know. It says, Apollo, signs are being sent to light your path. Pay attention to the whispers of spirit. Yeah, I was saying being open and receptive, right? Knight of Wands also takes action when he's divinely inspired. So when you get the nudge, you're going to have to act on it. It's all going to happen really fast, but it's all being orchestrated on your behalf, so this comes together for you in a positive way. Okay, manifestation, goal-related, love-related, possibly. But let's see. It says, Apollo is a multifaceted Greek god of light and prophecy. He was a great musician and ruled over poetry, dance, archery, illness, medicine, oracles, and the sun. Okay, B energy, the sun. Right, because they are sun energy as well. His oracle at Delphi was the greatest in the ancient world, consulted by the wealthiest and most influential people in Greece. Okay, why does that give me vibes of benefactor? So I don't know if some of you have a personal goal that you want to achieve, and you might need the assistance, right, where it takes a village. You might need the assistance or maybe somebody to invest in you. Again, a benefactor, I'm getting the vibe. But again, if this person is coming towards you to help you accomplish this, it's because they believe in what you're capable of achieving, okay? Let's keep going. From inside the temple, a priestess called the Pythia would channel Apollo's sacred messages, and priests wrote them down. The temple still stands on Mount Parnassus today. Apollo is a conduit for divine guidance and sacred signs. Yes, so you can act upon them in the moment when you're inspired with that Knight of Wands energy. His symbols include the wolf, dolphin, swan, laurel or laurel crown, which is bay leaf, which is also a symbol for eternity, or it's everlasting, right? It says golden lyre and silver bow. So it says, wake up, the divine realms are communicating with you, sweeping in upon his shining chariot. Apollo comes to illuminate the stream of heavenly messages that are being sent your way. Like I said, I was getting the vibe that Spirit was bringing things together with that Three of Cups. And according to this, it could come in the form of divine insight, messages, synchronicity, right? Showing you that that thing on your heart is coming into alignment for you. Okay, let's keep going. Blonde curls gleaming in the sun, Apollo sits down next to you and starts to play rapturous music on his lyre. A wondrous intuitive language is being spoken through signs and synchronicity, he says. Spiritual guides commonly send symbols like feathers and rainbows to remind you of their presence. Pay attention to words, phrases overheard in conversations. Look at that. Or maybe at a party, right? With that Three of Cups. song lyrics, music, colors, images, symbols, and number patterns that you experience repetitively. You may have a sense of heightened awareness or sudden stillness as the sign is delivered. Divine messages will always be kind, loving, encouraging, and positive. They don't tell you to do anything. Rather, they nudge you. Look at that. I said that. I said that with the Knight of Wands, right? They nudge you in the right direction of your highest good, reinforcing your inner knowing. So again, these things that are coming together for you, there's going to be signs showing you that you're on the right path, that these people, places, scenarios, and situations have your best interest at heart. They're going to show you so you can trust. Like I said, keep your heart open and receptive to what could come through, because whatever's coming through is to help you accomplish a goal or something that you've been wanting to create or manifest for yourself. Okay. So it says, if you don't understand a divine message, ask yourself, if I really knew, what would this sign mean? Interpret it kindly and trust yourself. Yeah. Additional meanings, make a sign journal, record your divine messages, and notice recurring themes. You may have had significant past life experiences as are at the Delphic Oracle. You'll soon receive a valuable Oracle card reading or intuitive session. Follow a career path, possibly in music. Invocation, Apollo, help me interpret the language of spirit. Okay, let's go ahead and grab some angel numbers. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do roll the dice to give you additional messages via the numbers. They can oftentimes, because they have, confirm something that I've already said in this reading and or provide you with a message that maybe you need personally. I don't give you source because they're basically, it could be one you don't like. Two, never want to imply that other source, you know, there's sources that are better over others on the internet because there's many out there. I say go with one that you trust and resonates with you. Allow that to be the, you know, the source that interprets whatever you feel guided to is, you know, what you should use. Also take the journey to find the numbers for yourself, because you could come across other signs and synchronicities or divine messages, right? That spirit needs you to find. If I gave you a shortcut or source to look up the numbers, I might rob you of that experience entirely. I don't want that to happen. That's why I don't give you a source to look up the numbers. But let's see what numbers come up for you. Pile number 2. Look at that, a number 3. Another number 3. Okay, so like I said, we were already looking at master number 33, 313. You know, those are numbers you could also look up. But let's see, 5 and 9. So look at that, 359 is your angel number. I'll go ahead and put that in the screen for you. If you feel that this reading has helped and connected for you in some magical way, please do let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe. Maybe consider my channel membership for exclusive content and readings that I don't put out publicly. You can also support what I do by visiting my Etsy shop. I have really cool handmade crystal jewelry there that I make by hand on my free time, including items that I, you know, find and refurbish. Some of them are vintage items. So I find jewelry, refurbish it, and then give it to you. Basically put it out there for you. So if you feel that this has helped you, let me know in the comment section down below. I love hearing from all of you. Take care of yourself, pile number 2 viewers, and always keep shining. Pile number 3 viewers, you chose the Sasarabito Tarot for you. And for this reading, we are looking at now what? What's next? And this is going to be like a 3-month, right, view of what's coming up for you within the next 3 months. We're also going to take a look at the current situation because we want to see, you know, what the energy is surrounding it. Give it a little bit of a diagnostic, so to speak, to see what the current situation is, and then take a look at where everything is going. So let's see what the current situation is for you. Pile number 3 viewers choosing the Sasarabito Tarot. Let's see what the current situation is. 1 card. Okay. And then 3 cards for the next 3 months. To see now what? What next? Now what? Did I say that? Now what? What now? What's next? All right. And if I need more cards, I'll just grab off to the side. But let's see. Current situation. The 7 of Cups. That's interesting. So the Seven of Cups is, it can read two different ways. A lot of times it is imagination. It is your head up in the clouds. And sometimes people look at that in a negative way. And I get that. But the other side of that coin is you're in the realm of creation and or manifesting when you're in that creative space of looking at all the possibilities, and it's very Neptunian, right, in that way. So on the other hand, you could be, okay, in one scenario, some of you could be in the realm of imagination or creativity and looking at all the possibilities and trying to figure out, how this could all come about and materialize, because right now everything's up in the air. Some of you could also be very confused about your current situation, because it could talk about that, or being overwhelmed by choice, okay, by the choices that you have in front of you, or you have options, but you don't know what to do, what to pick, or which way to go. So for the moment, life could feel very much up in the air. It could be up in the air because your situation feels up in the air and you don't have a clue as far as what to do next or how to approach the situation. But it could also be up in the air because right now you're manifesting. You're in the position of manifesting. You're in the imaginary realms, visualizing, feeling, them as if you're up in that space of creation where you're communing with the spirit realm in order to manifest something. Right? Because you have to create it there first before you can draw it down and manifest it physically. So let's see what else is happening here as far as, what now, what next? Wow, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Change. Things shifting and turning in surprising ways, maybe in ways that you weren't expecting, but there's a shift in the wind here. And maybe it could be that's why everything feels kind of up in the air, because you're in the middle of a change up ahead. You're approaching a shift in your timeline, in your energy, in your circumstances. So you don't know where you stand in a way. And I always use the analogy of or the little rhyme of the Seven of Cups. Castles built on sand, you don't know where you stand. Right? That's one way to help you remember the meaning of the card. It's not that what you're building is built on sand. It's more or less like there's no stable foundation for what you're creating or what you're doing at the moment, because everything's up in the air. Okay? Everything's totally up in the air. And the Wheel of Fortune also kind of indicates that moment where you're at the casino. I always use this analogy of the casino. You throw the ball gets thrown for the roulette wheel at the casino. For a brief moment, the ball is up in the air. You have no idea what number it's going to land on because it's up in the air. And everything changes. The realm of possibility, okay? In that moment, while the ball is trying to figure out where it's going to land, the realm of possibility, okay, endless. Endless. The possibilities are endless. It could go any way. Or, yeah, we don't know. So we are up in the air in that moment as things are shifting and changing around us. And that's how it could feel. That Wheel of Fortune, though, is saying that everything changes when the ball lands. So even though things might feel like they're up in the air right now, there's a little bit of relish that energy for a moment. Nothing's set in stone quite yet. Relish that moment of things kind of not having a direction, because in a blink of an eye, everything's going to change. Wheel of Fortune is saying that. There's major changes up ahead. And even though you don't know where the journey is going to take you or how the manifestation is going to develop, there's a shift in the wind up ahead as well. And it's going to steer you in a way that you weren't anticipating. So things might seem up in the air, a little ungrounded at the moment, or maybe you might feel a little insecure about it all, or you have no solid footing as far as where everything's going to take you. But the feeling is that's really the calm before the storm. That's really the calm space, that liminal space, okay, between spirit and physical, that liminal space between, you know, I guess heaven and earth, in a sense, is what I just got. You're in between realms, you're in between worlds. And that's kind of neutral territory. So the feeling is just allow it to be, like, relish that moment of floatiness. Because in all honesty, that's the space and the realm of all possibility. Again, possibilities are endless right now in this moment. So relish this period of unknown and just allow it to take you where it needs to, because the universe will take the wheel eventually with the Wheel of Fortune and steer you. And you kind of have to take a back seat when it does that with this energy. It is the wheel of change. So shit's about to get real. Things are about to change. So before shit gets real, basically enjoy, right? That floaty down the lazy river is kind of what this feels like. And I haven't even pulled over the other cards, but that's honestly what this feels like. You're floating, you're kind of in this floaty space between old and new. You're kind of in between, in that liminal space of past and future. And everything seems uncertain and has no maybe solid foundation as of yet. But we know it's been created in the spiritual realm with that Seven of Cups. And you're in the middle space, because you've already done the work spiritually, is what this is saying, especially if this is about manifestation. You've already done the work spiritually, and you're in that middle ground between spirit and physical before the manifestation actually gets brought down to a tangible earthly level. So it feels like it starts off in spirit, you're hitting the manifestation, or the thing is hitting that middle ground or that middle space before it drops down, before the ball falls and everything changes. So it's like, enjoy this weird space. And I know that's so uncomfortable, but it's like, enjoy that, because that's the calm before the storm. That's that calm space before shit gets real. Because there's a shift in the wind up ahead with that Wheel of Fortune. It's going to change everything. It's going to set you on a course in the direction of destiny or fate, because that's what that card means. It's putting you on the path to those things that are meant for you. It's going to happen probably in unexpected ways, or in ways that you weren't anticipating. But again, it's because spirit has the wheel. And you kind of just got to go with the flow of that. You got to trust where it's leading you, because more often than not, it's leading you to your fortune. It's leading you to something better than maybe you could have even expected or imagined with the Seven of Cups for yourself. Let's see. Two of Pentacles. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Two of Pentacles. Like I said, it's this juggling thing, right? I was feeling the vibe of being in between worlds. Maybe for some of you, it's in between a choice or a path, right? I was getting the vibe of being somewhere, because think about it, being somewhere in the middle of past and future, old and new. And it's weird that I felt that, because the Two of Pentacles is the guy, right? Normally shown with a guy juggling two things. The balls that he's juggling in each hand, one could represent past, right? And he's the present, he's in the middle. And the other ball can represent the future. So when you're in this energy, you're actually, like I said, and just relish this present moment, because that's what it is. Everything's about to change. And you're going to be knee deep in the middle of all these changes pretty soon that are shifting on your behalf. And you have to find the balance. You have to find your center. For some of you, this is goal related, manifestation related, because again, creative energy of the Seven of Cups, imaginary realm of creation. You know, imagination is the seat of creation. And it's going to be a little bit of a juggling act for you when all of this changes. I feel with the Wheel of Fortune, it's going to change suddenly, maybe a little dramatically. I don't think it's a tower energy. I mean, it doesn't necessarily feel like that, but there's a little bit of, I would say, oh shit to it, you know? There's a little bit of that, I feel, coming from the Wheel of Fortune. I'm not sure why. And you're going to have to manage. You're going to have to, you know, juggle a few things or a few hats when these changes and shifts go down. I feel this is a positive outcome when all is said and done, but let's see. Okay, so 8 of Swords. Don't get in your head about it is the advice. I am going to grab another one. Or maybe I'll look under the deck first. When I look under the deck, it's basically an underlying influence. Okay, things happening under the surface that you may or may not be aware of. Okay, yes. So when I said 8 of Swords, don't get in your head about it, it's because there is progress here. And there's progress being had and made even when you can't see it or you're feeling kind of overwhelmed by it. Or overwhelmed by the shifts and the changes you're maybe finding yourself in the middle of. Or soon to find yourself in the middle of. It's going to be, you know, plenty to handle. You're going to have your hands full with the Two of Pentacles in the middle of these changes. But you can't let your mind get the better of you. And with the 8 of Swords, it all is just mind over matter. This is more like an energetic card, in other words, just telling you to be mindful of your thought process as you're undergoing these changes, as Spirit is shifting your journey at this time. And that's why with the Wheel of Fortune, we can't resist the changes that are happening for us. We just have to flow with them. And that Two of Pentacles just gave me the word grace, okay? Like it's handling them, the shifts and the changes that you're kind of at the mercy of in a way, handling them with grace. And not letting your mind get the better of you to the point where it limits the possibilities of how things can develop for you or how they can all turn out when all is said and done. Okay, sometimes we feel like we're stuck, or everything just seems like it's up in the air and we have no solid footing of anything, and we have no clear sense of direction or focus, and we feel like things aren't moving for us, right? But this Knight of Pentacles underneath the surface is telling us that there is movement. There's always movement. Even though things seem stationary, in reality, they aren't. Things are always moving, even when we can't see it. And the Knight of Pentacles is showing us clear, determined, methodical progress, steps, movement, action, momentum in the direction of a goal or manifestation or something you want to achieve on a physical, tangible level. So when I said that currently with that 7 of Cups, you could be up in the realm of creation and spirit, and you were somewhere in that middle ground or middle space before it comes down in physical form to make itself tangible. Well, here's the tangibility of that imagery or that thing you're envisioning or creating in your imaginary realm. Here's the tangibility of that. That's earth energy. So you might get up in your head about these things because something might shift in a very unexpected way, and you might think that shit's hitting the fan in a negative way, but it's spirit turning the wheel to guide you right and true in the right direction with the wheel of fortune. So even sometimes the chaos and the disaster of that, and you having to try to keep it all together in the midst of all of that, might seem like a disaster, but it's really just a blessing in disguise, helping you to make progress in a tangible way in the direction of that thing that you desire. So underneath the surface, there is progress in a positive, tangible, stable, secure way, in a physical way. So when life throws a curveball at you with the Wheel of Fortune, and it throws you for a loop, and you're having to try to like, what now type of thing, right? That's what this reading's all about. Don't get in your head up about it. Just kind of let it roll off like a water off a duck's back. Because there's a hidden element to all of this in regards to its unfoldment. And it's not negative. It's actually, with underneath the surface, positive progress in the right direction in a tangible way that's secure. The reason why that is because the Knight of Pentacles, when he makes progress or moves in the direction of a goal, he does it in a way that has crossed every I, or dotted every I, crossed every T. So he doesn't leave any stone unturned, but it's also that way things are done right. And I am getting the vibe that for some of you, that feels like spirit telling you that this thing that's in the realm of, right, maybe for some of you, creation, if this is manifestation goal related, is that spirit's not going to allow anything to go awry unless it had a purpose to the unfoldment and the eventual physical delivery of your manifestation. Does that make sense? So even the hiccups, even the bumps in the road, even the twists and turns of events have a purpose in the overall unfoldment of your situation. So try not to get in your head about it with the Eight of Swords, overthinking. Why did this happen? Or what's going on here? What does this all mean? You know what I mean? Because sometimes we can do that. Eight of Swords, it's all about perspective. What might seem like a delay is not really a delay, but it's just one cog in the wheel of the unfoldment, and for you to arrive at the destination. But it's nothing you can't handle. Like I said, show yourself a little grace when things seem kind of confusing, Seven of Cups at the moment, or as things shift suddenly, unexpectedly, and you have your hands full. You got a lot that you're trying to juggle all at once. It might seem really stressful. Eight of Swords. I do want to grab another card. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. Some of you also have an important decision to make, and you might be torn, weighing your options with the Two of Pentacles, the pros and cons of the scenario, because you know once you decide, it's going to change everything with the Wheel of Fortune. The thing is also to say, to trust yourself, to know what's best for you, that you're safe with the Knight of Pentacles underneath the surface and secure in your decision making. You will figure it out. All right, but anyhow, let's see. I'm going to shift these over. Yeah, the moon. Trust your intuition. Okay. You're going to have to really trust yourself in the next 3 months with the way everything is at the moment. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding the situation. And you're not going to have maybe physical, okay, practical, logical, let's say, understanding as far as what the right thing to do is, or what the next best action is to take, or how to choose, or where this is all going. But that's where the feeling is with the Eight of Swords and the Moon. Spirit is asking you to trust yourself and what you're intuitively receiving. That's the evidence that you need to know that everything will turn out all right. You're navigating between old and new, past and future. That's a very uncomfortable place to be sometimes, because you're in the middle of a shift. You're in the middle of a big transition in your journey. And there may come a time where nothing, a lot of this may not make sense. Or you feel like you're walking by the light of the moon and you're not really seeing things clearly. But that's when you're asked to trust your intuitive nudges, the intuitive guidance or information that comes through from Spirit to help assist you through the shifts and the changes that you're about to experience with the Wheel of Fortune. That even sometimes the unexpected or the things that go awry, we don't understand why they happen, but rather than us overthinking them with the Eight of Swords, it's more or less, okay, there's got to be a deeper reason to this. There's a reason why Spirit, is allowing something like this to happen. There's a reason why this scenario has occurred in the moment. Trust that it's all part, like I said, it's still part of the cog in the wheel to help you arrive at your destination. No curveball that the universe throws at you is in vain in that sense, if it's still going to lead you to where you want to be or the outcome that you seek. Just keep in mind that underneath the surface with the Knight of Pentacles, you're stable, you're secure. You're arriving at the goal or the choice that you need to make, or the turn that you need to take, or you're arriving at the manifestation. You're still arriving at it at a decent pace, and at the pace that is most beneficial to you. This is saying as these changes occur, and they're going to be big ones, you're going to have a lot on your plate. You have to trust yourself. And we have a lot of energies coming up astrologically from the time that I'm doing this reading. Just for an example, this is timeless, obviously, from whenever you watch it. But there's going to be big shifts and changes. And with that Wheel of Fortune, we just have to just trust that whatever's happening for us is still going to lead us where we need to be. And that's when we have to go inward and trust ourselves the most, rather than get in our head. Because we're still arriving on time. Oh, okay, don't want that many. Just want 3. Again, trust the process, right? Because even when things don't seem like when they seem like they're all over the place and you're juggling so much, trust the process. But more importantly, also trust yourself. And don't let, with the Eight of Swords, right, because that's a card of guidance, I feel, don't allow the intrusive thoughts, in a way, right, to get the better of what you know, what your intuition is telling you. Because I feel sometimes intrusive thoughts come in to try to challenge what your intuition knows. And when nothing makes sense on the outside, in the outside world, that's when you have to trust your intuition the most. And that's what these cards are saying. A lot's up in the air right now, but it's leading to major shift and change and also transformation. There's some kind of phase in your journey that's coming to a close, and things are changing rapidly and in unexpected ways, and you're somewhere in the middle of all that. But in the middle of all of that, in that weird in-between space between old and new, past and future, letting go of all that before you enter this new phase of your journey, that's where you have to trust yourself the most. But know that even in the midst of all of this, even in the midst of shit hitting the fan or life throwing you curveballs that you don't understand, or in the middle of a big shift and change as far as a major choice or decision that you have up ahead of you, trust yourself to know what you need to do. And that even the curveballs have a purpose to the greater unfoldment and or delivery of the outcome you want. Okay? Look at that. Forget me not. Always remain true to your intentions. Look at that. Remain true to yourself. To the outcome that you want to see even. Look at that. Success, Jasmine. Success will be found if you hold on to hope or faith. Because sometimes, okay, sometimes these curveballs are just a big giant test of faith. That's all it is. And when you can step back, like take yourself out of the equation for a minute and look at it from the outside in and be like, you know what? Oh, yeah, universe, you got something up your sleeve. I know that this is not just happening to me for shits and giggles. There's a greater purpose to this. And I'm just going to let it ride out. Look at it. Sometimes you got to look at those things like opportunities too. Right? And that there's something else going on here. That's what this feels like. When those things occur, is to take a step back and realize that the universe has its hand in all of it. And there's a blessing in disguise somewhere in the midst of all of it, all the changes. Look at that. You have, Dahlia, you have what it takes. Yeah, you got this. Okay, so again, Eight of Swords, don't get in your head about it. Because you're still, with the Knight of Pentacles, on the right path. You're still moving forward positively and securely in the right direction. Even when there might be a curveball in the midst of all this stuff feeling very uncertain and up in the air. Okay. Final Oracle card. This is the Gods, Goddesses, and Guardians Oracle. Whoa. Okay, I only need one, and because none of them flipped over, I won't accept them. Because I'm going to read from the book, and they are pretty long, the explanations. So, and for time constraints, I just need one card. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Look at that. Don't give up. Stand your ground. We have Leah. Okay, let's see. Let's see what Leah says. Okay, so it says, and I'm going to read directly from the book, okay. It says, stand your ground, don't suffer in silence, ask for what you want. Leah is an Aboriginal Australian water goddess and guardian of women. Looking down from the sky, she notices a group of women digging for roots in the dry desert. The men in the village had created certain rules so only they could leave the camp to get the water. The women had to stay put, thirsty and dusty. Leah decided to intervene. She went into the mountains, dug her digging stick into the ground, and discovered a water spring that turned into a river. I just heard trickle down effect, which is like one action snowballing into something greater, right? That kind of gives me the vibe of like, there's a shift and turn up ahead, but it's all going to lead where it needs to when all is said and done. So try not to look at it from the perspective of, oh no, everything's haphazard, chaotic, and falling apart. What the hell? You know, like, look at it like, universe has a plan. There's a purpose to this. And it's all for the greater unfoldment, right? It's kind of like, Spirit has that outside looking in perspective. Sometimes when we're in the middle of something, all we can see is what's happening right here and now. But there's a whole chain of events leading to the outcome we can't see. All right, so the women, now refreshed, formed their own community with Leah as their leader. You have an extremely giving and supportive nature. Everyone can always count on you to be there for them. You put others first. Go out of your way to understand their needs and bend over backwards to honor their request. These are traits that often show up in empaths, healers, and light workers, earth angels, intuitives, and sensitives. Goddess Leah is urging you to set some limits before you risk yourself under a pile of other people's needs, demands, and expectations. Leah smiles widely and assertively, claims generous space for you by pushing her stick into the earth. She asks, Are you a living saint? No. Are you being a doormat? Possibly. Do you have needs, dreams, and wishes of your own? Yes. Start putting yourself first. Ask for what you want, ask for help, and be open to receive it. You may feel uncomfortable to begin with, but my waters will enliven you. Together we'll clear stagnant patterns and find fertile new ground. Additional meaning: stand up for others in human rights campaigns and other causes that highlight injustice and prejudice. Clear stuck energy with water healing. Have a shower, bath, or swim. Visualize water as energy flowing through your chakras. Write down your blocks or fears and immerse in a water bowl to release. Leave a toxic or stale relationship or situation. Take assertiveness training. Invocation: I claim my space in the universe. I stand up for myself. So again, where there's a situation that might feel up in the air, I feel like this is saying stand your ground, don't give up, right, on yourself, even in the midst of a changing situation or in the midst of uncertainty. Don't give up on yourself. You'll be intuitively led to make the choice that you need to make to help guide you in the right direction, but you have to trust yourself, right? Leah, in essence, trusted herself. She intuitively was like, you know what? I have to do something. I have to go get water, right? She trusted herself that when she took the journey, she was going to get there. She was going to find what she was looking for. And there's a little bit of a metaphor towards manifestation when it comes to that as well. She didn't take no for an answer. She stood up for herself. She didn't allow for others to tell her she couldn't or that it was impossible. She just persevered until she got the result that she wanted. And she did, right? Lo and behold, she did. But she was also flowing like water in the direction of what her intuition was guiding her to, is what this is telling me as well. And had she not trusted herself through the journey, if she had not trusted her intuition, she would have never found the water that she was looking for. And that's metaphorical also. Yes, it can be standing up for yourself and all that good stuff, but it's also about trusting yourself through the journey, even when things seem bleak, because they were on the verge of dying of thirst in the story, right? So it's like trusting yourself through the process, even when there doesn't seem to be any water to be had. Trust yourself that you will find the water that you're searching for, the outcome that you're searching for, the result that you're searching for, the right path that you're searching for, the right choice will be presented. But you have to, again, intuitively flow, trust that you will arrive safely. Even when things are very much uncertain, like Leah was experiencing. Things were kind of uncertain, but she trusted herself to take action so she could be guided in the right direction for the outcome that she wanted. That's why it says, forget me not, always remain true to your intentions. It says the jasmine, success will be found if you hold on. The dahlia, you have what it takes. And so did she, right? So for those of you who aren't familiar with my channel, I do roll the dice for angel numbers to get additional messages through the numbers that show up. These numbers can confirm a lot of what I've already said in this reading. They do that sometimes. And they can also provide you with a message that you need personally. I don't recommend a source because it could be one you don't like. I never want to imply also that there's, one source on the internet that's better over another when it comes to angel number interpretation. There's many out there. I'm pretty sure you'll find one that you resonate with. I say go with that one. Trust that one to be your source. Also, take the journey to the number interpretation for yourself, because you might come across other signs, synchronicity, and serendipity that you need to find along the way. If I gave you a source to look the number up, I might rob you of that entire situation of, rabbit holes that spirit wants to take you down. So I always recommend that people just, do the research for themselves and find their own magic that way. So let's see what numbers come up for you. Pile number 3. 4. That's that stable energy of 4. 2, balanced and in alignment energy as well. Decision making. And 8. So there you go. That's your angel number. Look up that number, see what it brings to you. 428. I'm going to put that in the screen for you. If you feel that this reading has helped and connected for you, by all means, let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to support this channel. Also consider joining my channel membership for exclusive content that I put out for members only. That includes reading and other little mini vlogs and things like that. If you want to support what I do here further, you can always check me out on Etsy. The link to my Etsy store is down below in the description box. I have handmade crystal jewelry there that I make by hand in my free time, as well as cool vintage finds and jewelry that I have refurbished and made like new again and, brought to you and to my shop. So you could always support me that way as well. Sending much love wherever you are. Pile number 3 viewers, take care of yourself and always keep shining.